Ladies and gentlemen, before we even talk about reacting to this new content that Bungie devs just shown, let's talk about this collaboration. That's right, you're seeing Star Wars on screen. I mean, this is the absolute mega dub collaboration that we've been waiting for. Also, Titans win, Stormtroopers, duh. Let's roll around with pink shaders. This is going to be dope. Warlocks look good. I think Hunters, you know, it's okay. But anyways, now let's look at this image. We got Oryx sitting in the background, being a creep, top left-hand corner. We're fighting some Rulk lookalike. This is going to be a new activity on the Dreadnought called the Nether. Also, the Dungeon Sundering Doctrine. They're talking about all this cool stuff. The artifact mods are amazing. Oh, Vault of Glass weapons reprised. We're going back to farming the Fatebringers with chat. Tons of info. Here's how I reacted to it. Enjoy it. I'm excited for the dungeon too. On the 7th, I'll be running that as well. I'll also be on the front page of Twitch during that time. So come hang out and chat, root me, sweat, and sneak on. And I'll see you guys on launch for February 4th.
A very specific dread that we're going to be seeing this episode. Gave chase to it. So we're going to be dealing with the Dread and the Taken and the Hive all revolving around this third echo.
Excellent.
Okay, so what's the third echo's name?
We have up on
Dread.
screen here in just a moment, I think, the key art now for this next episode. There's a lot going on
That's a
here.
dope
Nico,
photo, man.
Can you tell us just a little bit about what we're seeing here?
Wait.
Yeah. So
is that Rulk
I think the first
3.0?
thing that's probably going to draw a lot of people's eye. Is that ghostly visage of Oryx peeking over the top there. So Oryx is. I'll just say Oryx is back to some capacity, right?
Yeah.
Oryx is back.
And the Echo has a lot to do with that. So not only
What do you
are,
mean?
The Guardians jumping through, trying to figure out what exactly is going on in this first act, but they're dealing with this old foe that has been dredged up from the bones of the Dreadnought.
He's up. Oh, he's up there peeking his head. Peekaboo.
So yeah, we're
That's
gonna be.
all right.
I didn't even see him.
The Guardians will be
I didn't
there
even
very
see him.
soon. But so we're dealing obviously again with the Taken King again in some form.
Are we getting a
So we have
Taken
some
shader?
old foes returning, but before we go ahead and move on into gameplay and dive into that, we have some old allies returning as well. Can you tell us about some of the folks we're going to be working with this time around as well?
Yeah, so our main cast right now is Eris Morn, which is our resident witch hive
Eris
expert.
plays.
A lot of people know her from Season of the Witch, aptly named, or even further back.
All right, we're going to be obviously keeping Sloan very busy with that. But speaking of, we actually have our requisite local fire team here in-house in the activity as well. Ryan, this is the Nether. This is the new activity that's going to be arriving with Act 1 of episode Heresy. Can you tell us just a little bit about what this is for starters as we go ahead and kind of dive into it?
Yeah, so the Nether is a 3-player activity, and we are back on the Dreadnought's patrol zones.
Okay.
And we'll be exploring the Dreadnought, rooting out the Taken Hive and Dread Corruption that are taking place and taking hold inside the Dreadnought itself as we go through these spaces. And the Nether itself is a uniquely different type of activity. We're really trying to full baseline some inspiration.
Dreadnought
for
ship
this
looks
activity
good.
was looking at Shattered Realm.
That guy standing over there reminds me of,
and of course, the Dreadnought's patrol spaces. Of course,
Hellheart?
the Dreadnought. And yeah,
what's that weapon?
Just for starters, what you're actually doing inside the Dreadnought is
machine gun.
Baseline. The patrol.
Warm welcome.
Yeah, that's the Warlock's new grenade.
Has some very unique
with the aspect, I think.
That we're experimenting health baseline.
What do you mean we don't?
HP values and
regain health.
Shield value. So alongside that, we really want to make your health regeneration or your health as like a resource as you're fighting through this, as we are looking at this as a very rogue-lite experience, and we need resources to contend with to make hit that rogue-lite. Emphasis on light there, of course, because this is still a very uniquely Destiny experience. And we have a lot of things contributing to that as well. So we do have ammo scarcity as well, so players won't be getting as much ammo.
No ammo, no health. That sounds amazing. So you carry the relic.
You engage with the activity.
Nice. That progressive sort of idea of like power and building up.
What are these?
How strong you are as you're moving through.
Drains, grenade,
that
finishers.
roguelite experience, like move towards the Echo and figure out what's going on.
It's kind of like a roguelite.
Finding
and cue the health gate.
Health is kind of like a resource, so you're not seeing it drop off of enemies and stuff like that, but
Excuse me?
Find like a resource and collect and all that.
Yeah, so we have destination.
I do like that grenade.
We have urns and pots kind of placed around everywhere, and
I do like that grenade. Wait, no health gate.
And when you break these destructible
okay.
pots,
All right, bravo.
into, like,
Bravo, Bungie.
Health, ammo.
I thought the health gate was coming.
Sometimes boons. Yeah. Sometimes
we could just kill them.
I forgot to mention we are using revive tokens here as a resource as well. So you really need to manage.
This is going to be like what's that activity called?
To get help.
The wish.
So
Riven's wishes.
Players to explore the dreadnought and encourage that exploration by looking for these urns, looking for the chests, and like searching for
Coil. Yeah, it's gonna be like Coil.
There's that patrol-esque experience that you're looking for. I want to explore at my own like pace. I want to look for secrets. I want to just engage with the space like it was a patrol space back in the day. Yeah. It still is the Nether experience of where you're going from. You're playing through the 3 bubbles and there's escalating difficulty, but we do grant to you in that mode a multitude of revives. So you have a way larger pool of revives, so you can make mistakes.
Sure.
It's just for those players who want to like explore at their own whim.
So Dreadnought is not a social space.
There's also damage modifiers for those players when they're engaging with bosses.
Is what I'm guessing.
As a solo player, so they can actually tackle those hurdles as they come.
Blow things up.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this, we have Solar Slide as well, but we also have Stasis Slide, where you run and you slide, and a big stasis.
I mean,
wave
stuff
comes
like
out,
this
makes
is cool to
crystals
give
and freezes
players
things,
options to,
and you can blow
do
them up.
different things in the activity. That's cool.
There's stuff that is gonna.
You definitely need more
heal
stuff like
more
this in the game.
effectively. There's looks like this one's interesting. Reduces damage per piece of
Reduces
episodic
damage?
armor worn.
Oh, cool.
Per piece of armor you have.
As well.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so there's a bunch, and then finally we have the kind of kiss curse boons, as we call them, but they have an official name. What is that?
Increases elemental damage dealt.
Yeah, so
Drains grenade and class abilities. Oh, there's a positive and a negative.
As players can only obtain 5 to 6 major boons / corrupted boons per run through. Those are granted to players.
Tear, which are 2.
Oh, here's the auto rifle.
Sever enemies. Yeah. It's not often we get a
slice.
Primary legendary weapon that can debuff in multiple ways.
Yeah.
And that's going to play into things like the artifact this season, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But,
we'll get there.
So there's Adamantite, which is.
I turned the volume up. Sorry.
Weapon. And then let's look at Psycho.
Wait, it's a depth.
So
wait, that was a depth.
Our new area denial grenade launcher.
Such a good name.
Oh, new grenade launcher, eh? Arc.
So Psycho Pump. So these area denial.
Oh, dude, it's an energy one. All right, that's nice. Nice.
Right, we don't have flamethrowers in the
new
game,
weapons.
but this is as close as you can get to a flamethrower. So I imagine I'm using one.
That one's nice. It's just like the Lost Signal stasis. Bravo.
This thing has a really
it's gonna be cool.
That
Final blows grant bolt charges while amplified. Oh, you get more bolt charges.
We'll also talk about in a bit. And also it works with Amplified as well. So this thing, if you are Arc build crafted this season,
I want to
Arc
see the other
received
perks.
A ton of love.
What's the intrinsic perk?
Absolutely slay out.
Come on. Yeah.
It's
dealing damage to defeating targets with this weapon gradually increases stability, handling, reload speed, and charge rate. This effect gradually decreases over time, but gain more quickly.
The folks that have been working on these weapons too, like the general look of them, it goes along with what you were saying of, oh hey, the Dreadnought's kind of peeling back. If you look at the weapon, you can see like.
Hey, bravo, man! It's new stuff. You got to get excited for new stuff.
Yeah. Actually, Dylan, while I've got you, also the previous one on Adamantite, that one was an adept weapon.
Yeah. So let me pull out my handy dandy notebook.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the meme.
Screen cap.
Yeah, why was it adept?
You can notice that for this go of our episodic weapons, you can earn adept weapons, and these are we're considering or calling them our heretical arsenal.
Got it.
Heresy, heretical. Like we're going deep into this.
Not
theme.
theoretical.
What did you just say?
I love it.
You can see that it has a new or a different treatment to the colors. It's kind of like the holofoils from Into the Light.
Okay.
Not so much.
You get this from
that
expert
of,
mode?
Hey, it's an ornament, but like this has the base dye and all that, and it looks really good. Shout out to the team. But you can also notice there are multiple perks in each column. There's actually an extra origin trait as well.
Reloading near allies overflows the magazine.
From a raid near you.
Foes receive faster draw time and swords faster charge rate.
So you're going to be going into these activities, upping that difficulty. You're going to be exploring.
That's
the
a cool
Dreadnought
perk.
And looking for these, as well with the.
Haven't we had that
with
before?
the
Something like
weapons,
that.
They're going to be new. Fragile mods. So they're called fragile because these will be
Heretical
at the
Arsenal.
Close of the episode.
Okay.
But they're going to give you
King's Fall?
pretty insane
King's
bonuses
Fall,
to
right?
Your outgoing power. So not necessarily.
Oh my God,
the
light
power
level
of the weapon, but
2020?
the actual like versatility of it.
Yeah. So we've got a couple more weapons I definitely want to talk about because we're reprising some as well. But while we have a brief reprieve from combat, I'd love to actually go ahead. I know you mentioned earlier aspects, Eric.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a look really quickly.
Yeah.
We got our friendly neighborhood warlock here up first. Can you tell us about the new aspects the Guardians are going to have this time around?
This is nice.
Absolutely. So the warlock has a new aspect called Ionic Sentry.
Ionic Sentry does look cool.
Ionic Sentry, when you defeat targets with kinetic or arc weapons or arc
it's got to be
abilities,
kinetic or arc weapons or abilities.
You see in
charge it, throw it.
Gauge on your screen, much like Gunpowder Gamble.
Yeah,
it does blind
when
targets.
That's full,
so it's going to stun champs.
To a bonus grenade that you can then throw out. On impact, it blinds anything nearby. And
I'm
then
all for it. I just made a
like,
busted
little
Stormcaller
arc
build
turret,
anyway,
right,
so.
that, zaps things,
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah.
And every time it zaps something, it...
but the other classes do as well. Which one should we show them next?
Let's stick with the arc thing. So let's go to Titan.
Titan. Here we go. This thing's going to be busted.
In this is like a barricade modification. So
stand behind the
any
barricade
you drop, it's going to kind of be electrified.
Shoot a Thunder Lord.
This electrified is going to passively accumulate bolt charge on you.
Yeah.
So I drop this on the ground. I start shooting enemies from behind my barricade. Let's say it's a rally barricade.
Again, it's going to be really hard to run Striker over Prismatic Titan.
Titan's ramparts, the barricade you can shoot through.
Oh, yeah.
And that is going to be kind of building those stacks up and discharging them.
I think this is going to be busted though.
Like I said, bolt charge is usually only ability damage that discharges it.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm standing behind Storm's Keep, my weapon damage is going to discharge it as well. So it kind of turns any weapon you want into like a quasi Thunderlord.
Not necessarily an arc weapon then in this case.
Oh, he said it. He said it.
Like myself.
Yeah. Best for last.
This one will be able to get you out of sticky situations
Void
as well. So yeah.
On the prowl.
Arcstrider already has for arc aspects, but they needed
weakening
one
cloud
in
of smoke
their
that makes
slot.
you and your
So we
allies
gave,
invisible.
Night Stalker on the
What?
prowl. And shout out to the boy Danny Nanny, who is the designer for this one.
Yeah.
So on the prowl,
You get weapon reload speed, stability,
you kind of become a hit person, right?
grenade, melee, and class ability energy.
Whenever you go invisible,
and it's 3 fragment slots. That's insane.
In the area.
Yeah.
And that thing
Holy
is marked.
smokes.
Our target shows up on them for you and your allies. If you successfully complete that contract and whack that jabroni,
Dude,
right?
this with stabilizing rounds.
Sorry, jabroni.
No, excellent use of jabroni.
Oh man, yeah, this is going to be really juicy.
So I whack a jabroni, whack a jabron, and then what happens is my entire team gets some energy.
Just don't use Omni.
This is kind of a callback to the pack from the old Night Stalker. It originally was actually a callback where we gave you stats, but then because we're reworking the stats coming up, like
that's kind of cool though. I like a utility aspect. That's kind of dope.
Ability energy, and then the victim, if successfully executed, explodes into a cloud of smoke, which I can then enter to become invisible again, a new target. So I can kind of chain these like assassinations as I move throughout a strike or something. And my entire team.
They're doing this on purpose to pull you off Prismatic, but it's really hard to. This might though. This is kind of cool.
Everyone goes invisible. So yeah, you're kind of sneaking. It's on the prowl. We're prowling.
Arc Titan, Arc Warlock are busted. I like Prismatic Warlock better.
The eyes freak me out every time, but Omni Oculus, like that's going to benefit the smoke and all that kind of stuff.
Nah, we don't need Omni.
Driver. Sorry, Rit.
Artifact as well this episode.
Ah!
The Tablet of Ruin,
Artifact!
which seems aptly named. Now,
Screenshot!
Just as a start.
As we
An overload machine gun?
Dreadnought, it was
oh yeah. Oh dude, sniper. Game time.
Bring the big guns to force their hand.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not about us winning.
Unstop fusion, baby.
Okay. Yeah.
So the Tablet of Ruin is there to ruin their day, essentially.
Take that Glade mod off.
But yeah, so I'll call out some highlights of mine from here.
Here we go. Here we go.
Column 5, because Column 5.
Column 5's a strong one.
That's
Column 5's a strong one.
Right to the chase.
We have Void. Which one is it? It's called Void Flux. That's it.
Defeating weakened targets.
So defeating weakened targets with a Void weapon applies volatile to nearby targets, and then you pair that with the Column 4.
It's over. It's over.
Blind Harvest, and
it's over.
Applying volatile causes your next instance of Void.
Destabilizing rounds is about to be the most busted thing in the game.
Feeds back into the other one, and it's like
Gimme.
If you can get
It's
this,
back.
This
Volatile
engine
rounds,
going,
boys.
You know, in a crowded
Yeah,
room,
yeah.
It's nasty.
Me and my fellow Fighting Lion addicts are gonna have a really good time. This one I can already tell. The Fighting Lion subreddit, I want to see some clips.
Fighting Lion.
I also want to call out
Boo!
Horde Shuttle.
That's
and-
actually gonna be busted.
So Horde Shuttle, damaging unraveled targets with a weapon, occasionally spawns a threadling.
We've
This
had
is
that
really
before.
good, for your strand builds.
What was the one before it?
Especially against high health targets. Because I unravel them, they stay unraveled. I keep shooting them, they're just popping threadlings out, left and right.
Nice.
And then, because we talked about arc, flash over in column 4.
Maximum gain bolt charge.
Bolt charge.
Oh,
you
that one's gonna be
also
nice.
Become amplified. Amplified.
To become amplified, lightning bolts do more damage. That's going to be
episode,
busted behind the Titan barricade.
To its survivability.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
Really, arc in general it's hot. It's gonna be hot.
feasting, yeah. It's gonna be some spicy arc builds this time around.
Rock 'em, shock 'em, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Punchy Hunter's back.
Dylan, can you walk us through some of the stuff in the first column as well? We're gonna have
Oh, yeah.
some new
what was that one?
champion rather mods to take out.
Yeah, so I mean,
I need
there's all
screenshots.
these,
Can you guys send me
really
screenshots of the
ability-focused
mods we
items,
didn't
which is
see?
great because there are a bunch of anti-champion keywords in there as well.
Yeah.
But let's say like, hey, we're going in, we're doing a Nightfall. You can see actually there's anti-barrier sidearm for the first time in years. Like I think that was around for
Anti-barrier
one of the
sidearm's
first
back.
Grandmaster rotations, and it was like, what sidearm?
Right. Dust
Now
off
we
the call.
Now we have rocket sidearms.
We just
have
need the
forerunners,
sniper.
so you can be like popping the shields, throwing the grenades. That
anti-barrier sniper's
Anti-barrier
juice.
Sniper, that was a favorite from the
Bang,
past.
bang.
We just did a big rework on glaives. The team did a crack job on there.
Boo.
So unstoppable there. And
Sniper
then,
linear
up top you
combo
can
is gonna
see
be
machine
nice.
Guns, and then linear fusion rifles and fusion rifles are getting the unstoppable. And then in fifth column, you'll see a perk that players may
Particle
enjoy.
deconstruction.
It's back.
Deconstruction.
I'm so excited.
Bro, they said they'd get rid of these mods and never bring them back.
Finally, thank you, Malachi. After all of this time, honestly, so I have a hunch I'm going to be putting those in the main rotation.
They brought them all back.
Oh yeah.
Okay, don't rub it. I didn't.
What about you?
Dealing sustained damage from fusions or linear fusions partially refills the magazine from reserves and grants them bonus damage for a short
There's a
duration.
reason to go back into Vault of Glass. I mean, we can help him get his.
I'm down.
Telesto lives, ladies and gentlemen.
Some raids I've played 5 times and have.
Oh boy, we're in trouble.
The raid exotic, right? Another.
Oh, you're the guy where you get it on
The
the
Lester's
first
back.
line.
Yeah, but not with.
Wait, Fatebringer's got different. What?
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa,
Vault
whoa.
of Glass is getting crafting.
Yes.
Chat goes wild.
Vault of Glass is getting crafting? Is that what he
Get it
just
a couple
said?
times as a deep sight, craft it, and then you can make that roll that you've always wanted.
Yep. Yeah.
Going
Craftable
through
log
Vault,
weapons?
Let's say versions, and those have a chance to drop. with
Fatebringer
multiple-
carries are back, boys.
We've
Let's
been doing this for the
go.
last few raids with craftable weapons, but now it's like, hey, I want my He's in Vengeance. There's a new.
I don't know what the trait was.
Perk. What's the origin trait?
Yes. Yeah.
And
Final
then,
blows of this weapon
let's say I'm
grant
trying to
bonus
go
super
for
energy, and when your
a
super
combination,
expires,
I could get
this weapon's
3 on
magazine
this,
size
and
is
I can
doubled.
Enhance it, make it this
And
crazy
reloads
rocket
from
launcher
reserves?
that's good.
What?
And
Dude,
go
that's
into endgame
busted.
And do some really cool stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So
That's
we've obviously-
insane.
We've got another
Holy
one, but I
smokes.
mentioned some reprised ones, but
That's
actually, as
gonna
long as
be
we're hanging out
good.
here in the menus.
Ooh,
let's go wherever
exotics.
you'd like to. Which one would you like to kick it off with?
Let's look at Baro Dyad.
Baro Dyad. I was hoping you'd say that.
Oh,
So,
submission.
Baro
What
Dyad
the?
is
Dude, that thing's nuts.
Is that a gun?
Is that actually a gun?
It's a hybrid gun for his sort of
Our
thing,
team does not mess around, man. That's so cool. Yeah.
So this thing is a strand
Generates
submachine gun,
blights.
and it is also a monster in combat. So this thing, as I deal damage with it, it generates this resource called Blight. And next time I reload, whether it's manual or I just run out of my
That's
mag,
cool.
it's going to convert that Blight into these Strand Seekers that next time I
Bad aim.
pull the trigger, it's going to fire those out and they're going to bounce between enemies.
Here
Bad
we go.
aim.
So we got some gameplay of this right now, actually.
Yes. So, but you can also see.
Bad aim.
The Grim is a paid actor, obviously.
Bro, hit your
You can also
shots.
see that
Lodestar.
This one will be given to
Oh, that
players
thing's cool.
via the season pass.
Season pass. Season pass
this
weapon.
This is the first primary ammo trace rifle ever.
Primary ammo.
And
So excited.
so in hipfire, this thing behaves like a, the trace rifle you know and love. But
you can jolt targets with it.
It's closer to a pulse rifle, actually.
Okay.
When you ADS,
So it changes it
pulse rifle has this kind of cadence
to like
where
a fusion.
There's like these kind of spaces in between the rounds coming out. But this thing is more the steady, EDM beat.
Here we go. Yeah, so players are seeing it now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're womp, 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 womp.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So that's how it
It's
fires?
It's nonstop until you run out of ammo, right?
So we got burst sidearms, burst hand cannons.
Oh, dude, I like the
pulse
different
rifles,
firing
and now we
modes.
got a burst trace rifle.
If it jolts the
I love this kind of
targets,
stuff,
you could really throw it in with
so
certain builds.
Outside of this unique firing behavior,
It's
as I
very
deal
niche.
damage
People
with
need
it,
to
you can
understand
see
that.
Down in the bottom left corner, we have two.
Very niche. It's not doing a lot of
two
damage, but that's
auto
okay.
reload.
We might be able to
Sorry,
find some use
special
for it.
Reload.
Oh, right.
This thing has is when ADS.
I think there's damage fall off in the nether.
When you defeat a arc debuffed enemy, they explode into a blinding explosion. So it's this loop where I can charge it up. I jolt enemies.
Yeah.
I defeat the jolted enemies.
Even if we don't
with
use this weapon, I
the
think it's still
ADS,
cool that they're trying,
shot, which
so-
explodes and damages more enemies, which charges it up. And it's
the
this-
loop.
I still give them
continues.
credit for
This
it.
thing has, I think, a really high skill ceiling.
Look at the newest collaboration that's going to be coming to Destiny 2, and this one is joining us from a galaxy far, far away.
Oh yeah, what do we
I'm
got?
going to keep an eye on you.
Oh, no.
That's right.
Oh,
and it's
no,
collaboration is
take
inspired by
it.
a universe that's loved
It's
by
over.
so many of us here at the studio, Star Wars. Now,
Oh, brother.
today,
We
we're
just
gonna be taking
paid
a
for the
look at
next
new
year's
Star Wars-inspired
installment.
armor sets that are going to be joining Destiny, and I say there's no time quite like the present.
I don't know what to say.
First
That's
up,
the coolest shit I've ever
we've got the
seen.
Covert Ranger set for Hunters.
Come on, you know
So
it's
go ahead and
cool.
take a quick look at that one.
This is dope.
This one is
Come on.
inspired by
They
none
killed it.
other than the elite Death Troopers. Oh my god, I can't
They
wait.
killed it. Bravo.
Seriously.
Hunters are never going to need to use Super Black again. Are you kidding
They
me?
know what they're
Don't tempt
doing.
us, we'll find a way. Yes, this one, and as are the other ones that you're going to see, are obviously all going to be arriving on day one of Heresy. Up
W.
next, Warlocks. Worry not, we've got you covered as well.
Warlocks,
we've got
super
the Royal
dope.
Protector set for
That
you
is
guys,
so
and this time
clean.
it's inspired by the Imperial
Absolutely
Royal Guards.
sick.
If you've ever found yourself in a throne room in the Star Wars universe, you've probably been intimidated by these guys. That's your
Sick.
chance to go ahead and do the same intimidation when you load into
I'm
Trials
blown
or
away
anything
by
like
that.
This one is obscenely cool. And then last but very not least, we've got the Shock Enforcer set for Titans. This one's inspired by
Titan
the classic
wins.
Stormtroopers.
Titan
This one
Stormtrooper.
actually,
We
I think,
win.
Comes with an intrinsic perk that tanks your accuracy.
Is that so?
Wait, what'd he say?
They're
Nah.
just gonna go ahead and punch you anyway, honestly. We'll check on that intrinsic perk. But yes, this one, obviously, to the classic Stormtroopers out there, the fans of those, Titans, you are gonna go ahead and be set and ready to go ahead and don this.
Bro,
Now,
we're putting the
obviously,
watermelon
there's gonna be
shader
some
on
stuff
that.
that will transcend across all of the different classes, including a new ghost shell that we'd love to go ahead and show you as well. We now have, let's go ahead and take a look here.
Oh, we get
This
it.
is
We
the
get
DS2 Ghost Shell, as you
The
can
Ghost
tell,
Shell, too.
operational, but it's inspired by none other than the return of the Jedi Death Star. So it's a bit of a work in progress, but
Take
who
it.
among us isn't?
Take the wallet.
So
Swipe
good,
it.
man. I love the effect that comes out of the front.
Teams.
Oh, man, we're screwed.
But
We're-
yeah, this
we're
one has been
screwed.
Super exciting. Now, Bungie, that
That's
helped put
the
this together,
best collab they've ever
Kelly
done.
On the marketing team, and then our friends over at Lucasfilm Games. It's been incredible to go ahead and work with you side by side to put this together. And of course, to make sure you're all in the know, and we give you a heads up of exactly where this is going to be. It will not be at Tashi Station with the power converters. These will be available on Eververse when Heresy launches on day one. So just want to make sure you're all aware of that. And also, I got to say, I, for one, am going to be keeping a close eye on the R Destiny Fashion subreddit because I can't wait to see what they got for us after this.
I mean, they're going to have this.
They don't
they're
wanna
gonna
show
have
the other
Trials
stuff.
armor,
They
new
want-
seasonal- or
They don't want to show you the
episodic
ship
armor.
and
They're going
stuff.
to have tons of new Eververse options, but tons of new options you earn in the game. Put it all together, make something dope.